And through Tier of the Bloody Point, another cards video. So this is going to be an example of my deck, which I've shown in a previous video. I've made some changes to it. I'll go over the deck list later. But this one was a good example of being patient. Normally, I would play my units as soon as possible so as to not give up the front line. But in this case, I choose not to do that, and it turns out to be good. So you can see I have a lot of orders in hand, and I have the 2-cost unit. Now if I play it, it's going to take damage from his unit, and I may potentially want to switch the defense stat over onto the attack stat, so I don't want to do that. So we're just going to hold on a little bit. I do have the 2 1-cost cards, which can give my unit heavy armor, reducing the damage it takes. So ideally we want to hold off and use those on that. But we get the buffs card, which is fantastic. Even better recipient, lower cost. This allows me to do what I originally planned. But give it more defense and stats. And I still have the naval card in hand. Now I could attack, but I hold off. Because he's not a guard. And I don't want to use up defense if I don't have to. Now he does have artillery and air, but neither will damage the unit because of the heavy armor stat. Okay. So not looking great necessarily. I have a choice here. Yeah, we're gonna do that. What do I want to pin? Or just destroy it? That will set things up, hopefully, for the future turns. We're taking a lot of damage. Doesn't look good. I just need to make it till I get 7 credits and can play my heavy bomber. Or I forget what it's called. Bombing run? I don't remember. So yeah, so it was like a very good match to test one's nerves. Okay. So we could potentially take 4 more damage to the HQ. And then we can wipe the board, depending on what he plays. I'm fairly comfortable with this, given the nation I'm playing against, but it's risky. Yeah, 20-1. Oof. That's brutal. But we can clear the board. And I can move my buff cards up. Alright. Now we just gotta hope he has nothing that does 1 damage to the HQ. And I don't do damage to myself accidentally by playing Bond's card with a morale hit. That would be terrible. Okay, so the problem I have now is I can't take a single bit of damage, so I have to destroy both of his range cards. I have no choice there. Now I have 3 heavy attack. Okay. So we just have to clear those ranged units on his side. It doesn't really matter who I use for what at this point. Okay, 1 turn survived. Just need to survive a couple more. So this match doesn't exactly speak well of my deck, I suppose. It's more my strategy of holding off early. It was a gamble. Okay. So, only 1 ranged unit I have to worry about. And we're going to hold on to that bomber. Or... yeah. This guy must be wondering what is happening. I almost had him. I need to start putting some damage on the headquarters. Now, if he... okay. That's good. I did think momentarily about using this card to draw more cards, but it seemed too risky. Let's crawl back into somewhat safer territory if I can use this next turn, if I survive. So yeah, the deck again can produce pretty big units and gives you some flexibility on how you do that and for different results. Okay. I think the danger is over. Unless he has a 0 cost, something that can do 1 damage to the HQ. I suppose there are countermeasures which could do me in. I think the player left, yeah. I think they went offline. They rage quit probably. Which is understandable, given that they had me, they were full health and I was as low health as you possibly can be, and somehow survived. Yep. They gave up. Respect. Alright. So this is kind of just formality at this point. At least I assume they gave up, unless they... not really sure what the signs are of that. The stopwatch immediately suggests that there's no player. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Success. So again, probably not the best example. Not recommended to play most of the game with 1 health on your headquarters. But a win is a win. So let's take a look at the deck. in its current form. Slightly modified, and definitely not perfect. Gonna make some changes. But I do still like the core engine of the deck, the buffing of the low-cost cards. Lots of orders. Although I have another video I'll post where I just got nothing but orders. It was crazy. Like, inconceivably unlikely statistically, but it was wild. Yeah, so that's a new card. I think I'll add another copy of that, actually. Forward reserves. I think it was. I do have a limited wild card I could use to craft something. Let's see what limited would I want to add. It's British specific. A lot of good cards, but you want to have enough copies for it to be likely to even come up in the first place. I could do that. It's tough. Not that I need to do this now, but there have been some suggestions about using different air units. I think I'm mulling over taking those suggestions, or maybe just taking the units out entirely. Air units do have a lot of counters, but they are very useful. Let's see. Before we do that, oh yeah, I did unlock the Elite weekly crate, which is good. I'm almost up to 50, so soon we'll be able to see what the rewards are post 50. I'll post a video on that as well. And the thing that I should have done when I first started playing was search the internet for codes and tried redeeming them for gold and cards and whatnot. So this code is expired. I found 5 that there were some suggestions that might work. Okay, so this one works. A core pack and 100 gold. Not bad. Let's see. 3 more to try. Also good. So that's 200 gold. And another pack. Let's see if these others work. That's a 3rd pack. And another 100 gold. And then last 2 expired. And the last one expired. Okay. So that's still decent. Increase of gold there. Let's open the packs. So this would have been very useful early on. Definitely recommend if you're a new player, make sure to redeem these codes. Nothing for the nation that I'm playing though. Okay, limited is for my nation, so that's nice. Interesting. And the last pack. Nothing for me. Okay. Wonder what happens if you get more copies of a card, more than 4. Like, is it broken down in some way? I don't know, but yeah. So the decision I have to make now is, do I buy core packs or homefront packs? I've bought a bit of both. I did see that it was recommended to buy the officer packs, so that's what I've been doing. I need to look online to see what cards the different expansions contain, and if there's any that I want, make sure I buy those packs. But yeah, that's my deck in action and the codes. I hope those are useful to you new players. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.